Let's begin with the latest in the Russia-Ukraine war. Ukraine has said that its troops liberated Robotyne. It is a settlement located in Ukraine's southeastern region. This comes as Kyiv is trying to push its counter-offensive in the south against Moscow's forces. The Russian Defense Ministry, however, said that its troops repelled attacks by Ukrainian forces near Robotyne and Verbov. Russian President Vladimir Putin has conveyed his inability to attend the upcoming G20 summit in India. Instead, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov will be attending the summit. The news broke after Putin and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke on the phone on Monday. The Indian Prime Minister expressed his understanding for Putin's decision. The two leaders agreed to remain in touch. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un called for the strengthening of the country's naval forces. He accused the United States of turning the waters near the Korean peninsula into the most unstable waters with the danger of a nuclear war. Kim said this during his visit to North Korea's Navy Command. He was there to mark the Navy Day of the Korean People's Army. He was accompanied by his daughter Kim Joo-ae. Special Command troops of the US and South Korea conducted a joint maritime infiltration training on Monday. This was part of the Ulchi Freedom Shield exercises. About 100 American and South Korean soldiers were mobilized for the drills. They took place off South Korea's coast in Yangyang County. The Ulchi exercises are designed to enhance the response to North Korea's nuclear and missile threats. Former US President Donald Trump will face a trial in March 2024. This is for trying to overturn the 2020 presidential election result. The trial will be held on March 4th, just one day before what's known as Super Tuesday. It's a potentially crucial day in the Republican presidential nomination contest. Trump's lawyers want the trial to take place in April 2026. They said they need that long to prepare for the trial. A shooting took place on the campus of the University of North Carolina in the US on Monday. One faculty member was killed in the shooting. Students were asked to take shelter in place. The suspect remains at large. Authorities are yet to determine the motive of the shooting. A burning helicopter crashed into an apartment complex in the U.S. state of Florida. At least 2 people have been killed and 4 were injured in the incident. The helicopter collided with a building and left a sizable hole in the roof. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration will investigate the cause of the crash. The Mexican Navy has publicized some recent raids. The Navy seized 4,400 metric tons of cocaine during 2 high-speed chases. The 2 operations happened on August 22nd and 23rd in the Pacific Ocean. The Mexican Navy also found over 5,000 liters of fuel. 11 people have been detained during the course of the raids. Five asylum seekers drowned near Greece on Monday. 4 of them were children who drowned near the island of Lesbos. 1 woman drowned off the island of Samos. All of them were trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea from Turkey. In the early hours of Monday, 23 migrants were rescued in Turkish waters. French President Emmanuel Macron has said that France's ambassador to Niger will stay in the country. This comes despite the Niger junta's mounting pressure to make the envoy leave. Macron also reiterated France's support to the ousted president of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum. Macron said Bazoum's decision to not resign was courageous. A 20-year-old man in Uganda has become the first person to be charged with aggravated homosexuality. The country recently enacted an anti-LGBTQ+ law under which homosexuality is punishable by death. A charge sheet seen by Reuters mentions that the man who was charged performed unlawful sexual intercourse with a 41-year-old man. Uganda has one of the world's harshest laws targeting the LGBTQ+ community. In climate news, tropical storm Idalia has lashed the Caribbean country of Cuba. It made landfall on Monday afternoon. Residents are rushing to evacuate Cuba's coastal towns. Authorities have also evacuated tens of thousands of people from parts of the country. Flash floods and landslides have battered northern Italy. Torrential rain triggered a landslide in the province of Como. Meanwhile, roads overlooking Lake Como have been blocked as severe storms are expected. Italian authorities say a cleanup operation is underway in the affected cities. The Central European country of Slovenia is facing another rainstorm. The storm flooded the coastal areas of Slovenia within a few hours. It comes just weeks after flash floods killed several people in the country. Storm Franklin is a very powerful Category 4 hurricane. The U.S. National Hurricane Center said this in its latest advisory. The storm is causing life-threatening surf and rip currents along the coasts of the southeastern American states. The U.S. city of Phoenix in Arizona is facing another round of scorching summer heat. Temperatures have hit about 47 degrees Celsius. This could be the hottest summer on record. This is according to a meteorologist at Phoenix's weather office. The devastating wildfires at Maui's Lahaina region have exposed the severe shortcomings of the U.S. government. This is according to residents of the Hawaiian island. Residents blame the U.S. government's poor emergency management and lack of social responsibility for the catastrophic impact of the fires. Hundreds of people are still missing in the U.S. state of Hawaii. The Maui fires have claimed the lives of 115 people. Residents in Greece's Athens are taking measures to deal with future wildfires. They've hired a company to help them detect early wildfire warnings. The company uses long-range drones equipped with thermal imaging cameras. These can detect a fire before it can spread. This year, wildfires ravaged several parts of Greece. Last week alone, the fires killed 21 people in Greece. Extreme weather events will become a norm within a decade if climate action is not put in place. This is according to a report that quotes leading climate scientists across the world. They say that the heat waves, wildfires and floods that we're experiencing today are just the tip of the iceberg. Lebanon's Amik wetlands stand strong despite climate change. Events like heat waves, wildfires and droughts have not had any significant impact on them. The Amik wetlands are considered to be among the largest in Lebanon. They are a refuge to thousands of migrating birds. They're also home to mammals, amphibians, reptiles, and hundreds of types of plants and trees. Now on to business and tech news. Toyota suspended operations at 12 of its plants in Japan on Tuesday morning. Only 2 of its Japanese plants remain online. This is due to a system failure. Operations at the 14 facilities will be suspended from the second shift today. While the reason for the failure is not clear, the automaker has confirmed that it's not a cyber attack. In total, the 14 plants reportedly account for nearly a third of Toyota's global production. Shares of the Vietnamese electric vehicle maker VinFast surged by 21% on Monday. This has helped the automaker quadruple its market value to $160 billion. Earlier this month, the company made its market debut with an initial public offering. Ever since, its valuation has grown. This has made VinFast the third most valuable automaker in the world. It stands just behind Tesla and Toyota. Bankrupt electric truck maker Lordstown Motors is reportedly formulating a debt repayment plan. It's hopeful about finding buyers for all or parts of its business. In June this year, the company filed for bankruptcy protection and put itself up for sale. This was after Lordstown failed to resolve a dispute with Taiwan's Foxconn over a promised investment. General Motors has begun manual data collection in the U.S. cities of Seattle and Washington, D.C. This is for its Cruise robotaxis. Data collection involves manually driving a robotaxi around. This is to get information on local driving habits in Seattle and Washington, D.C. This comes despite Cruise facing a series of accidents in San Francisco. Earlier this month, General Motors launched its Cruise robotaxi services in San Francisco City. After the launch, the robotaxis were involved in a series of incidents, including crashes. The United States Transportation Department has fined American Airlines $4.1 million. This is for unlawfully keeping thousands of passengers on the tarmac for hours. The airline also prevented passengers from deboarding the planes. In some cases, passengers were not given food and water as required. This is a violation of the U.S. Department's tarmac delay regulation. The fine is the largest ever penalty for violating the rule. Joshua Wright, the former commissioner of the U.S. antitrust regulator, is reportedly facing a host of sexual harassment allegations. 8 women have accused Wright of using his influence to make sexual advances towards female students, staffers, and job applicants. Several of them reportedly said they feared losing opportunities if they turned him down. Wright has denied the allegations. He says all his relationships have been consensual. U.S. lawmakers have asked the country's markets regulator to audit Chinese fast fashion company Shein. This is for the use of forced labor in the retailer supply chain. The Securities and Exchange Commission received a letter last week. The letter urged the SEC to ensure that foreign companies listed on U.S. exchanges comply with American laws. This comes ahead of Shein's potential initial public offering in the U.S. Brazilian beauty conglomerate Natura & Co. is considering selling off The Body Shop. This is after the skincare and cosmetics line saw another quarter of declining sales. Analysts believe that the sale of The Body Shop could be valued at about $500 million. In April, Natura also agreed to sell its luxury brand Aesop to French cosmetics group L'Oréal. U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer will host tech leaders at an artificial intelligence forum on September 13th. This will include Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Sundar Pichai, and Sam Altman. The forum will aim to lay down a foundation for new artificial intelligence policies. Several governments from around the world are considering ways to mitigate the dangers of AI. This is ever since the launch of OpenAI's ChatGPT, which quickly became a global sensation. New Zealand will introduce a new legislation this week. It will impose a digital service tax on large multinational companies. However, the legislation will come into effect in 2025. This comes as governments around the world are concerned that tech giants like Google and Facebook do not pay their fair share in taxes. Moving on to sports, in cricket, experienced wicketkeeper Matthew Wade has replaced Glenn Maxwell in the Australian squad. Maxwell has been ruled out of Australia's 3-match T20 International Series against South Africa. This is after he picked up an ankle injury during a training session. The Australian team says Maxwell's injury will be monitored ahead of the One-Day International World Cup in India. New Zealand's captain Kane Williamson has been given a deadline to prove his fitness for the upcoming ODI World Cup. He has about 2 weeks before New Zealand's World Cup squad list is announced. The 33-year-old sustained a knee injury in April. This was when Williamson was playing for the Gujarat Titans in the Indian Premier League. The ODI World Cup is starting on the 5th of October. In football, Spanish football chief Luis Rubiales' mother has gone on a hunger strike. This is after Rubiales was widely criticized for kissing Spanish footballer Jenny Hermoso. The incident happened during Spain's post-match celebrations at the FIFA Women's World Cup. Reports say Rubiales' mother plans to continue the strike indefinitely. She said, and I quote, "The inhuman and bloody hunt that they are doing with my son is something he does not deserve." FIFA has suspended Rubiales for 90 days. Spanish prosecutors have opened a preliminary investigation into the kissing incident. FIFA has lifted its suspension of the Sri Lankan Football Federation. The ban was imposed in January. It was due to political interference in the administration of football in Sri Lanka. Now, FIFA has officially rescinded the Sri Lankan football ban. Atletico Madrid thrashed Rayo Vallecano 7-0 in La Liga. This was Atletico's biggest ever away win in the Spanish league. The opener was scored by Atletico's Antoine Griezmann just 2 minutes into the game. The team was leading 3-0 before half-time. The next 4 goals came in the second half, with Alvaro Morata netting twice. Real Madrid winger Vinicius Jr. has been sidelined with an injury. The 23-year-old suffered a thigh injury on Friday during a La Liga match. Vinicius will reportedly take at least 6 weeks to recover. In tennis, world number 1 Iga Świątek entered round 2 at the US Open. The 22-year-old from Poland beat Rebecca Peterson of Sweden 6-0, 6-1 in straight sets. Świątek will next face Australia's Daria Saville. World number 6 Coco Gauff also advanced to round 2 at the US Open. The American took on Germany's Laura Siegemund in the first round. Gauff lost the first set 3-6, but then fought back 6-2, 6-4. She will next play the Russian Mira Andreeva. Novak Djokovic made a winning comeback to the US Open on Monday. Djokovic stormed past Frenchman Alexander Muller 6-0, 6-2, 6-3 in the first round. With this, Djokovic has also reclaimed the world number 1 ranking. His next opponent is Spain's Bernabe Zapata Miralles. World number 7 Stefanos Tsitsipas entered round 2 at the US Open as well. The Greek player beat Canada's Milos Raonic 6-2, 6-3, 6-4. Tsitsipas will next face Dominic Stephen Stryker of Switzerland. In the world of entertainment, director Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer is all set to release in China. This is as the movie keeps selling tickets at the global box office. Currently, Oppenheimer has earned almost $800 million worldwide. Nolan says the movie will cross $1 billion in revenue once it premieres in China. Oppenheimer will also become the first major Hollywood movie to screen in China after the COVID-19 pandemic. Director Greta Gerwig's Barbie continues with its wild run at the global box office. It has now become the highest-grossing film for the Warner Brothers studio. The Margot Robbie starrer overtook Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 to set the new record. Barbie has now earned over $1.34 billion in revenue. HBO has cancelled the show titled The Idol, starring singer The Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp. This comes less than 2 months after the show's Season 1 finale aired. The series has made headlines for its bold and explicit scenes. HBO has not given a reason for the show's cancellation. Actor Jennifer Aniston has revealed that she has a passion for interior design. Aniston says, and I quote, "I love creating spaces and putting homes together." She further added that if she had not taken up acting, she would have pursued the life of an interior designer. Aniston is best known for playing the role of Rachel Green in the popular comedy sitcom Friends. Singer Adele revealed that she had collapsed backstage after her concert in the American city of Las Vegas. This was after she suffered a flare-up of her spinal cord condition. Adele also said that she was unable to move because of a sciatica attack. The condition is caused by pain radiating from the sciatic nerve, causing extreme discomfort and pain in the legs and lower back. Rapper Eminem has asked Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy to stop using his music during presidential campaign rallies. This comes just a week after Ramaswamy delivered an impromptu performance of Eminem's hit song Lose Yourself at a rally in the US state of Iowa. A spokesperson for Ramaswamy said he will comply with Eminem's request. Hip-hop artist Cardi B has revealed that she plans to launch her new album shortly. During an interview, she said, and I quote, "I am not going to release any more collaborations. I'm going to put out my solo album." The announcement has left her fans delighted. Cardi B last released a solo album 5 years ago, which was titled Invasion of Privacy. Legendary singer Elton John was discharged today after spending a night in the hospital. This was after the 76-year-old fell over at his villa in southern France. The singer was treated for minor injuries. Elton John was discharged from the hospital after doctors declared that he was in good health. Bernie Marsden, the founding member and guitarist of rock band Whitesnake, died at the age of 72. The announcement was made by his family members. They also said that Marsden died from natural causes. The Whitesnake lead guitarist is best known for co-writing the hit songs Here I Go Again and Fool for Your Loving. Josh Saiter, who was a former contestant on the show The Bachelorette, has died at the age of 36. This comes just 4 days after the model and actor opened up on social media about struggling with mental health. His family did not disclose the cause of his death. Saito was best known for his appearance on season 11 of The Bachelorette in 2015.